What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, I'm not surprised even in the slightest bit that the rumor mill has continued to go for Marvel Studios. We made it almost through a year and a half worth of the pandemic. We were still getting plot updates, plot leaks, rumors, and the such. Again, not surprising at all that we're deep into a writer's strike and going into what is the third month of the actor's strike now, and we're still getting this information. Some of these details are set in motion and regardless. But what has sort of blown my mind is that we continue to get casting rumor updates for the Fantastic Four in the middle of an actor strike. And so while I say this every time we do one, what might be our last Fantastic Four casting video, and for quite some time, we actually have two updates today. One coming from squarely inside the rumor mill grain of salt territory. We'll talk about where it's coming from, and a brand new name we have not heard tied to the Human Torch. We're also going to talk about a separate industry insider source walking back one of his earlier claims about the role an actor's tied to. He may actually be playing the Thing. We're breaking down the latest rumors as they apply to the Fantastic Four casting, and as I say every time we do one of these videos, what might be our last Fantastic Four casting rumor for quite some time. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner to coincide with Loki. Again, all you got to do be a sub, leave a comment on this video if you want, stick around to the end of the video, we get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so normally when we cover an editorial of any kind or an industry insider like we will in the second part of this, even though I tell you guys to take everything with a grain of salt, the editorials, the trusted industry insiders, they have a track record that speaks for themselves. You can sort of look at their past scoops and see how much they get stuff right, calibrate your expectations. For this one though, we are really deep in the rumor mill. This is coming from Dumois, so just go ahead and add this name to the long list of casting rumors that we've heard about for the last 3 months and until we finally get an official announcement. But again, coming from one of their submissions, apparently Marvel Studios has had its eyes on actor Nicholas Galactus for Human Torch, and apparently they are actively trying to get in touch with his team for an audition tape, but the strike put an end to that. Now, I haven't mentioned this much at the channel, but there are sort of rumor sites or a small part of the rumor mill where actors want to get their name in a hat for something, and I'm not saying that that's the case with this, but this is a much smaller name actor than some of the other names that we've heard and tied to this role. So again, maybe just add it to the end of the list. But one thing you can be sure of is as soon as the actor's strike is over and they've resolved all of this, I expect that there's going to be an end to these casting rumors either way, because most studios, Marvel included, are going to go at a breakneck pace to try to finish the casting for the projects that are on target for a 2024 production, if that's even still possible, because of the releases in 2025. And with all the rumors we've heard one after another, it seems like most of the names have started to get locked in place, like Vanessa Kirby being our Sue Storm, and only a couple of names like Matt Smith and Adam Driver in the running for Reed Richards. Speaking of which, one industry insider that's been rather ubiquitous with the Marvel scoops, but especially the Fantastic Four casting, is Jeff Snyder, and over on the Hot Mic podcast on YouTube. In some of his previous F4 scoops, he had said things like Ebon Moss-Bachrach was in the running for the film, but not for the Thing, perhaps to play the role of Silver Surfer, and we covered that during a video at the same time when we were talking about perhaps a Latin actor up for the role of Galactus. Now he's walking that back in his most recent update and saying that Ebon Moss-Bachrach is still up for a Fantastic Four casting, but not the Silver Surfer. Most likely, he's up to play the Thing, which now comes full circle as that was the first role he was tied to when his name was dropped, and that does track as he is a Jewish American actor, and that has been said in the past to be extremely important to Marvel Studios in keeping that origin of the character true when he's finally cast. Speaking of being really important to Marvel Studios, guys, I know there have been a ton of rumors about the casting, and really, if you've been keeping a running list like I have and sort of re-tiered the names as they've been debunked or if they've been corroborated, there have been over 35 actors tied to just 4 roles in the Fantastic Four, and surely while not all of them, or let's say half of them, are not true, just rumors, it's about as exhaustive as you would expect Marvel Studios to be for a team this important. Oh, and it is super important that they nail this team if you've been looking what's going on around Marvel for the last couple of years. Only because A, they cannot afford to flop on the first Fantastic Four film, and B, these are roles that are going to be important in the MCU and going past the Multiverse Saga, right? You're going to assume whoever takes up the role of Reed Richards, the mantle of Sue Storm, and only a year or two before Avengers Secret Wars, they're going to continue to appear in the MCU alongside the X-Men and in the soft reboot alongside all the future characters. This is a casting at Marvel Studios that may be just as important as the original Avengers casting was, and since they nailed that, it allowed those movies to go for quite some time. If they mess this up and get the wrong actors in there, if the script isn't up to snuff and they don't focus on finishing the script, which, again, to remind you guys, they're on their second writer for the Fantastic Four script. Some projects like Blade were on their third writer, but it's now in the hands of Snowpiercer writer Josh Friedman after the writer strike is done to get it into a better place. But because of the importance of Reed Richards and Sue Storm in the Marvel narrative coming from the comics, because of the iconic role that they've played, it is so important for them to get this right. Conversely, if they should fail in making this movie what expectations are for it and the audience can't connect with the castings they choose for the team, it's really hard to see how they're successful going forward with this bigger role as Sue Storm and Reed Richards will play, not only in Secret Wars, but going past that into the future of the MCU, because the Fantastic Four are that important and no one has been able to really nail them on screen. Well, you can give a pass to the first couple from Fox. That's about as best you can expect from a superhero movie back then, but it's definitely not up to the standards of what we expect from the MCU. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below. A, if you agree with me and how important these castings are for the trajectory of where the Fantastic Four play into the future of the MCU. And of course, as always, as we continue to go over these rumors and hear new actors day after day, who is your ultimate pick from everyone we've heard already for Reed Richards and the rest of the team? I'm all ears as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Okay, so we are still doing PlayStation 5s at the channel. We've got at least 3 giveaways left to go this year, with Loki's finale, Echo when it drops on Disney Plus later in the year, and the Marvels. If you want to be entered to win for any of the other future giveaways, like some of the comic book giveaways we'll be running in October, just a month away, all the same rules will always apply here at the channel. First up, you need to be a subscriber, so hit the subscribe button. I know some of you who told me you've been subscribed to the channel for years now at this point have actually been unsubscribed and didn't even notice, so go ahead and check that. I will also say a majority of my viewership every day comes from non-subscribed members, which is no worries at all. I find that I watch channels that I don't subscribe to, no problem. But what I would say is, if you are one of those guys who's been rocking with me for a while, who has watched, I don't know, in some cases 10 or even 100 videos at my channel, as my demographics have indicated, hey, maybe hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out as a content creator, helps push me out into the algorithm. That being said, the best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places: Instagram and Twitter at @I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name All Fires. You guys have been so supportive of my original tunes. I really appreciate it. If you haven't checked them out yet, just more really curious, again, all platforms under the name All Fires, hence the AKA at the beginning of the video. Thanks for checking this channel out, guys. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.